Everybody, not so crazy lady here. Rumpkin News, raw bitch moments. I am so tired of hearing about this case, which for some of you who have perpetuated this farce need to understand. Okay? When we say children don't lie about molestation or inappropriate behavior, we're talking up to the age they start lying to you and can comprehend inappropriate behavior. Up to that point, when you know that they have figured out that if I accuse you of something so horrendous, or their parents get you to do it as a child, as a 13-year-old. I have both been molested, almost didn't survive a kidnapping and rape, and the fact that little bitches make up shit. Okay? So I want to show you, these are the documents, all of the documents on the case for this allegation. Okay? I think we should go through it, personally, because she has withdrawn her allegations as of 2016. Okay? So let's look here. All documents in the Doe versus Trump lawsuit, October 2016. She has withdrawn her case. Don't worry, I will check and make sure that it's as of 2019. We'll see what happens. 13-year-old rape victim dramatically drops her case. Woman withdraws her legal sex claim, or her legal claim she was assaulted at Jeffrey Epstein sex party. I am not saying these things didn't happen. We know these happened. I'm saying if you're going to accuse somebody of raping a child who's not really a child in a way, once those hormones start kicking in and puberty sets in, everything is accelerated. And I still can remember, I'm not that fucking old. Little girls flirt. They're discovering their power of sexuality. And there are a lot of little girls who don't look little girlish. Okay, as a survivor, I am not saying that these things don't happen. I am saying that in this country, you are presumed innocent, and it is the government's job to prove you guilty. And the more time goes on, people have the tendency to convince themselves of a lie. Because once you're in the lie, it's really hard to get out of the lie. There are a lot of things about Donald Trump that I dislike immensely. I have trust issues. But there are things that I admire about Donald Trump. And my brief, minuscule encounter in the schemes of things did nothing on his side of the street, but it changed my world. I don't know what he did. I could only be an observer. My mother was dying, and my father was being handed $1 million hospital bill. after he walked through the hallway, patted my cheek and my brother on the head, had a conversation with the doctors. My dad stood there, and then all of a sudden it was take her home to die. So excuse the fuck out of me if I have a little bit of a soft spot. I don't know what he did. I didn't see a checkbook come out. I didn't see nothing. But I do know that at the same time, the Shah of Iran was being treated for cancer at that hospital. And we found out later they were experimenting on my mother with plutonium, uranium, gold, and all types of other heavy metals. They butchered my mother, removing body parts, and she died at 43 years of age. And Sloan Kettering was handing my father $1 million hospital bill, which magically disappeared. I was 13. I don't know what fucking happened. Okay? That's why this is a little... And I was also raped, kidnapped and raped at 13 and left to die in the desert. And some guys putting up some telephone lines found me 3 days later. So I know what real rape is. I am sure this young person in the circles she encountered and dealt with, and if Epstein was involved at all, I am very, very, very sure that she experienced some things. But I am unsure if the person who did them is Donald Trump. We all know he's a horn dog. I just think he likes having ID with it. For somebody who knows that they can watch you through the television if they want to, and they can drive by your house, look at the patents. Don't think of conspiracy theory as a weaponized word. Look up the patents. If they can dial into your Christmas lights and pick up the frequency and use them as a listening device, you're not crazy. You're just paying attention. So while other people continually tell you how stupid and moronic Donald Trump is, there are times I believe they are paid, or their bias is so disgustingly blatant that they would have preferred to have a murderous, psychopathic murderer who decimated Libya run the country instead. So I didn't necessarily vote for Donald Trump as much as I voted against the fucking demon bitch from hell. And I'm getting real tired of this particular case being brought up. And we know victims drop cases for things other than it being a lie. They are intimidated in it. Sure. But just because you're at the barbecue, don't mean you're eating a particular piece of meat. And I'm getting real tired of people playing like they're lawyers when they're not. Katie Johnson's shocking allegations first emerged in the lawsuit filed in California in April of this year. She claimed she was lured to a sex party by pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, where she was forced into rough role-play sex with the presidential candidate. She said she was 13 when she met Trump after leaving her home in Oklahoma in 1994 to try to pursue a modeling career in New York. She was 13, so her parents were with her, right? On Wednesday, Johnson suddenly canceled a press conference at which she was set to reveal herself for the first time, she spoke to the DailyMail.com, and we have now learned that the lawyers are pulling the case she filed against Trump and Epstein. She had no proof that her story is true, and Trump has denied her claims. Clinton supporters have seized on the story as a possible knockout blow. This woman, who alleged that Donald Trump sexually assaulted her at billionaire pedophile Jeffrey Epstein's notorious sex parties in 1994, when she was a 13-year-old, has dropped the civil lawsuit that was filed against him. Trump's legal team branded the allegations disgusting at the highest level, unquote, and a hoax, unquote, clearly framed to solicit media attention or perhaps simply politically motivated. She first sued Trump and Jeffrey Epstein under the name Katie Johnson on April 26 in California federal court and filed an amendment complaint in New York federal court in October, claiming she was subject to rape, criminal sexual assault, battery, and false imprisonment. The court papers offer no corroborative evidence that her claims are true. So, Mikey, I'm asking you to stop, please. Okay? On Wednesday, Johnson suddenly canceled a press conference at which she was set to reveal herself for the first time, saying she was too afraid following a series of threats against her. I'd like to see proof of those threats. Katie Johnson's shocking allegations first emerged in a lawsuit filed in California in April this year. She claimed she was raped by Donald Trump when she was 13 in 1994, but now she dropped that case. That is the face of a fucking drug addict. Okay? You look at the faces of the women that Clinton really raped. The face of the little girl that Hillary got the guy off for raping, really. This piece of shit is nothing but a tool, and shame on you people. I'll be doing a part 2.